What's going on, y'all? It's your boy ZakNoC here. I'm joined by my boy CliF. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, it's the BASSJUMP podcast, y'all. We're premiering the new name today. Finally getting our monthly show on after taking a break from the first one that we did. If you guys are new around here, we come from a wonderful place called r/NoC Notes on Reddit. We host all sorts of different competitions for people who rap, people who produce, anybody who loves music in general. We'd like to come out and hang out with you guys every so often. Hopefully a couple of chatters come and say hello today. In the meantime, my boy CliF, welcome him as a permanent host. He was on the first episode of the Hip Hop Warzone War Room podcast that I used to be a part of. But me and CliF, we're vibing. We're doing our thing. Tell the people how you're doing, man.
A couple of weeks. I've been busy. I've been having to rush through these ciphers, which kind of sucks because I've definitely seen the slip with everybody else, throwing out their top stuff. But it's been busy trying to catch back up. Doing this podcast is my way of reinvigorating myself again, talking about music, getting back into music because I've fallen off a little bit. You've been busy. You've been busy. We all got real life to live. Hey man, you know what? I've been busy as shit too. But in the middle of all that, you know what? I have midterm season. You've been doing your thing. We've been working. We've been doing all that. But in the meantime, even in between all of our shit, you and I still managed to get some work done. Oh, most definitely.
I was gonna say, shit. Was it the first? I think it was the first podcast that me and you did together. Was when we decided to work together for the first time.
Man, yes. So it was either the first or the second what was it? The first or the second? Was it the first? I know it was the first podcast. We were the first podcast. But I'm trying to remember what cipher it was where we got linked up because I remember I was saying, "Yo, I got this cat," and he's all hype about this, and I was like, "Yo, let me talk to him." Because I had already heard your first cipher, and I was like, "Yo, this motherfucker can spit," and we were on the same wavelength, and I was like, "I got to get in touch with this guy," And then after that first podcast, it was like, "All right, let's fucking do it. Let's do whatever we got to do, Let's go do this, make a lot of music together, drop my first, monetized song ever with my boy Zach. It's been awesome, man. It's been awesome."
And speaking to all of y'all, what CliF is talking about there is we put out a song this week called Kanye Money.
Yes, sir.
It is streaming on all of the regular streaming platforms that you would hope to find stuff on. It's streaming on streaming platforms that I don't even know what the fuck they are. This shit is worldwide.
Yes,
so we are going to be showing y'all that today. I think it's a pretty good way to kind of kick off the show with a celebration of how fucking dope the hosts are.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. No stroking our egos here about how great of rappers.
Of course not. Of course not.
Never that. Hold up. Just let me do the jack off symbol in the background.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Now I'm going to pull it up on YouTube, I think, because I didn't even think about paywalls before this.
Oh,
that would have been a pain in the ass if I did that. All right.
Wow.
I'll get the hang of this shit eventually. You guys have been watching the feedback shows. I've been getting better at this hosting thing.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we're gonna kick off. We're gonna bump the new single from me and CliF. It's called Kanye Money. Let's check it out, y'all. Hope y'all enjoy. After the Grammarly ad, sponsored by Grammarly.
A company about to use Grammarly to handle a tight deadline.
Hell yeah, tight deadlines.
Oh my God.
Holy shit, we have advertisements before
I can't believe my eyes, y'all.
Hell yeah, bro, we get money.
We on the alley right now, we on the beach, I got a mimosa in my left hand. I just walked outside, I look up in the sky, put my hands together and I said, God is great. I can't believe He gave me this for all my day-to-days. You ready? Yeah. Started from a nickel to a dime up to a quarter. Then it was a rack and I was swimming in the water. Clear as crystal, pure as diamond on the finger of your daughter. In the tropics on the island, she be making me a father. I got a Thank my mama for the way that I was brought up. I pray there ain't no drama when she hear how I've been talking. I'm sorry and I promise I ain't honest all too often, but the prophets in my noggin make this shit a little harder. Chasing money, David, bummy. Ain't it funny how this land of milk and honey means my days is always sunny with some Drake up in my tummy. It's a smoke up in my lungs, bitch, I'm better than the bunny. I love it. Got access to them 5 prescriptions, and I pay for all the homies' Netflix subscription. Yo, it's gotta be a fantasy, a dream, a fiction. What I'm living is beyond description. Let's go. You can catch me over there where the prophets is, chilling with the prophets, we philosophize and shit. If you heard the fucking ruckus, know who causing it. Where the fuck you seen a while it got this much in it? I be rocking pre-Nazi Kanye money. I be rocking J-Ho, Beyonce money. So forgive me if you see me in my face funny. I can smell the broken hair sticking up the place, dummy.
This that pre-Nazi Kanye J money. Marble floor too rich to be fake money. Got my friends in a 50 mil estate money. Got my mom sitting rich and feeling safe money. Touch the top and damn it feels great. So much on my plate I'm feeling fucking overweight. Diabetic from the sweetest piece of ass, while the safe sitting getting overfilled with cash. They ain't got nothing on CliF, but if they really did, they find out I'm too rich to really even give a shit. Carry 2 wallets, still got cash falling out of them. How could I be mad when I'm so fucking proud of this? So I'm sorry to the haters, love a sneak fan. I'm laughing at you while blowing weed to the wind. Dapping up Cole and chilling with the remnants of Wu-Tang Clan, man. I'm fucking living.
You can catch me over there where the prophets is, chilling with the prophets, we philosophize and shit. If you heard the fucking ruckus, know who causing it. Where the fuck you seen a while it got this much in it? I be rocking pre-Nazi Kanye money. I be rocking J-Ho, Beyonce money. So forgive me if you see me in my face funny. I can smell the broken hair sticking up the place. They see me rolling with the rollie on wrist in a rose, drifting the whip like I'm shifting the flow. That shit's why I'm rich, I suppose. So I'm just sipping on Chris's sample, flipping some more, dripping at the show. These bitches know that it's CliF in his toe. Blowing draw, I smoke it, roam across the earth, spitting verses like they cursive verbs and twisting while they turn. Bitches begging me to slurp in the suburban, in the burbs. There be certain kind of perks when you can work it with your words.
I just felt insecure until these words traversed into a verse and turned a burner into top 5ers conversing on a hearse. What is worse is that you put a second head onto a giant that ain't relying on the other head to supply him with a turn. Then turn 2 heads to a conglomerate. Contra pimping beans, cause damn we got a lot of them. Lavish life living really is a dream, so don't even pitch me if it's not what it seems. CliF out.
You can catch me over there where the prophets is, chilling with the prophets, we philosophize and shit. If you heard the fucking ruckus, know who causing it. Where the fuck you seen a while it got this much in it? I be rocking pre-Nazi Kanye money. I be rocking J-Ho, Beyonce money. So forgive me if you see me in my face funny. I can smell the broken hair sticking up the place, dummy.
Goddamn.
Man, what a song.
I fucking love this joint, man. I love that we did this one. I love that we did this one, dog. I'm fucking pausing that.
I'm sorry I gotta say this out loud, but there's another song coming out with us that I'm more hyped about now, which is 30.
Wow.
I'm excited.
Oh boy, I need you to get me them vocals, bro.
I do. I gotta hit that verse one more time because I was like, the verse was tight, but like I wanted to sound way more like personable, you know, like my first verse was like me trying to catch all the air I could so that I could actually say it, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm a little chunky. So breathing, that's something I need to work on.
Hey man, breath control is tough, but like never be afraid to punch in. I think you use what, Studio One?
Yeah, I use Studio One.
Yeah, and you have that quick swipe comping just like Logic does, so it makes it kind of a lot simpler to kind of like, you know.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking great. Like it really runs through. Like I usually run 5 layers on my main vocals, and when I do, like comping it out is like 10-15 minutes, unless I'm really getting like tight with it to where I really want to make that sound like crisp. But usually I can make that 1 5-layer track turn into like this perfect top layer.
Exactly, so, man. Exactly. It's magical. It's like, if you guys don't know quick swipe comping, I don't know, figure it out. Find a way to get that shit.
Y'all need to get that shit. That shit makes like, anytime you're mixing vocals, it makes it a whole lot easier to get through that comp, because comping is like, before that, it was like 45 minutes to an hour of going through layer, doing this, doing that, cut. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man, I've been in this for a hot minute, even though I ain't done that much.
It's a struggle.
I just got hot recently, kinda, but fucking. But I've been in this for a long time, man, and I still remember like the 2010 version of GarageBand, bro. That was a different world.
Oh God. Yeah, I remember Audacity when I used Audacity at first, and poof, boy, that was a Feels like forever ago now.
I can still never get that shit working, man. I swear to God. Actually, you know what? That's a lie. I still use Audacity to this day because it is the easiest program to retime any like WAV file to like change the speed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I still bump
quick
it up
with
for
that.
I still do it for that. It's like I love flex time in Logic, but for some reason, anytime I like flex a track, it just fucking eats up my CPU. If I can just go into fucking Audacity, I go into Audacity, I retime that, we're good. That's it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because for me, Audacity was what I used for Rock Band, so that was about it.
Hell yeah, because you got that whole background. You were out here making the fucking all the tunes, bro.
Yeah, I was making some screamo shit before I went to rap. I was very on the opposite end of the spectrum,
which is so funny to me because, like, I don't know, you're a connoisseur though. You like all kinds of music. What's your favorite non-hip hop band or like?
Oh, definitely, hands down, forever. It's been since I was 8 years old. My favorite band of all time will forever be Slipknot. When I was 8, it was that, and I'm 26, going on 27. It hasn't changed in almost 19 years, and it won't.
Hey man, fuck. If people got a vibe, I don't know. I really wish I'd have paid more attention to that like big new metal wave. I had like Christian parents. I went to church and shit.
I did too, but my parents were like weirdly into that kind of stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, my mom loved Guns N' Roses and Skid Row, but like my stepdad was all like, yeah, try out Marilyn Manson. You know, I was like, oh, cool. This is kind of creepy. And then I found out about Columbine in America, and that really like made me like step away from rock music for a minute because I was like, I don't want to become like those guys. Like,
yeah, you're like, it's gonna get me, man.
It's gonna get me into that evil mode. But then I grew up and realized music doesn't cause people to do that. If it did, Eminem would have started so many mass killings at this point.
There'd have been a problem or two.
I found the constructive side of music. Anybody who finds that destructive side of music, I pity them. You know, I mean, you got to find construction into it, not destruction. That's the only way I can put it.
I like that vibe. Can you go into that more?
Oh yeah. So like, here's my thing. When I started out in rap music, I'm gonna just do it as a backstory. When I started out in rap music, I was in a very depressed mindset. I guess when I started out, like when I was 14, it didn't really count. But when I really put myself back in there about a year or so ago, I went in there with a mindset of like, I have to find something to be an outlet. I was in a very sad, depressed mindset, you know, didn't know where my head was, didn't know where I was going to be at. Contemplated a lot of that bad, negative stuff. And, rap music, I have a whole like monologue on it that I'm probably putting on the EP that I'm dropping. It'll be the outro where I actually talk about how rap music like saved my life. Almost like that Lupe Fiasco song, but instead of rapping, I just talk about it. You know, so
slept on track. That's a deep cut.
Oh yeah, man, I love that song. Dude. I love Lupe, dude. People need to go listen to more Lupe.
Is that the Cool or is that Food and Liquor? Like on which
no,
album
that's
is that on?
That is shit.
Is that the Cool? I think that's the Cool.
I think that's the Cool album. I could be wrong because like I can't remember most albums. Like I can't remember what albums Dots and Lines came out on. I can't remember what album.
Tetsuo and Youth.
Is that what it was?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. God, I love Dots and Lines. That was such a deep, deep thought concept of a song. And I think more people need to go listen to Lupe and realize that man's on a different level when it comes to rap music and what he's talking about.
Do you like drill music in Zion? Did you get there?
I didn't get through the whole album. I've listened to a couple of songs, but I know it's fire.
Mural on that bitch.
I know it had bangers of songs just because like I haven't checked it all out. Like I know it's still got bangers because Lupe just don't miss.
Zion. It stays sick. It stays sick. Lupe is unlike any other. Actually, fuck. You know what? Oh man, I really wish I'd have told you about this earlier. Because we could have like gone over some of the shit. Actually, we might still be able to if I can dig it up. But Lupe, are you aware of the MIT course that he is teaching right now?
Yeah. So Lupe Fiasco, I think it was like 2 years ago, this man like straight up comes out of nowhere and starts a rap course. And I remember seeing like people actually signing up for this. And I'm like, okay, if anybody's going to teach people how to rap, it needs to be like Lupe Fiasco. That man has like rap foundation and then the intricacies of rap just like set down. If you go listen to all of his tracks, he has multiple different ways to approach, to attack. His cadences can change. He can show you his like Southern style. He can show you that New York style. He can show you that West Coast style. And he puts it all together in this just amalgamation of goodness, you know? So if Lupe is going to make an MIT course about rap music, I'm not going to stop him. Dude can freaking rap, you know?
And actually, you know what? At that, someone leaked the syllabus a couple of days ago. Yeah,
Holy
someone leaked the syllabus. Here, I'm gonna bring it up. I've been digging around while you've been chatting. I'm gonna bring this up actually. I was gonna start getting into the what was it? I was gonna start getting into the tracks that we're gonna feedback today because we are gonna be feedbacking some tracks today.
I wanna feedback some tracks. I want to hear what these guys have got, on this new channel we got going on. I would love to hear some new music.
Absolutely, my guy. Okay, let me see if I can get this. Yeah, no, it's gonna force me to do it like that. That's probably not gonna be. People will be able to see some of that. Yeah, dude, they got like the rap theory and practice. Here we go. It's CMS section 60. Special subject, rap theory and practice. Instructor, Wasalu Yako. Also known as Lupe Fiasco. Fucking nuts, man.
Actually, not even also. He is now saying previously known
as Lupe Fiasco. Oh, so shit. No, that is a P
saying, that's saying something. That gives me vibes from... who was that? Was it Ghostface that went out and did Cuban links after he got out of Wu-Tang and kind of changed his whole persona? That gives me that kind of vibe. Or Snoop Dogg when he went as Snoop Lion.
Dude, do you remember that fucking reincarnation album actually?
Oh my god, dude, it was so weird. Why does Snoop Dogg do what Snoop Dogg does? Does anybody understand that this man is just he's living on autopilot now? He just does whatever he wants to do. He's so freaking rich and talented. What does he care? He could change his name, change his whole lifestyle, do a freaking what's her name? She went to jail.
Oh shit, I don't even know.
I keep calling her Betty Crocker, but that's not her name.
Oh fuck, I do know who you're talking about. It's shit. No. What's it? Martha Stewart, bro.
I know you're here. Help us out. Who is this blonde lady that?
It was Martha Stewart. It was fucking Martha Stewart, bro.
Stewart. There we go. Yeah. So him and Martha Stewart are in some weird celebrity just.
They did a cooking show.
Friendship.
They did a fucking cooking show, dude.
They did a whole ass cooking show. This man's chilling with Martha Stewart on a cooking show. And the whole joke around it is that two people are on a cooking show. One of them has went to jail, and it's the one that you would least expect. And I love that. Because it's everybody's oh, Snoop Dogg went to jail. And it's nah, Martha Stewart went to jail.
Yeah, Martha Stewart got locked up. Yo, I don't even know what she did. But actually, Snoop is a great person to talk about on the basis of people who have earned the right to do fucking anything in rap.
Yeah.
Motherfucker released a children's record.
Yeah.
Recently.
Him and KRS-One have nothing else to accomplish. I have nothing to... they do whatever they want now. They could make mumble rap, and I would still support them. I don't care. These guys are what else do they need to do for us? They've I want to
hear Snoop Dogg do a mumble song. I want to hear him on some auto-tune joints properly.
I would say he'd have to be super stoned, but when is Snoop Dogg not stoned?
Yeah, that's fair.
He'd have to be with Willie Nelson again to try and make a mumble rap song, but I'd love to hear it.
God damn, man.
On the basis of amazing artists, let's talk about J. Cole and what he did for this dude that he was just scrolling through YouTube and found a beat that said J. Cole type beat, made a rap song out of it, and let the dude put it on there for profit with J. Cole's voice on it. Let's talk about how great of a person that man is.
Okay, so another thing is out of all the random, I don't know, I've been cruising the YouTube beat scene for a while. Just on the basis of it took me until I was in my mid-20s before I really met any producers or anybody who was down to work with me specifically.
It took Hip Hop Warzone to show me producers, and then it really took No C Notes and stuff to bring out people we know him as Space Case or Jester Exodus, but he's been a great producer with us. Huge shout out to him. I think he goes by Two-Face Media on YouTube. Yep. Big shout out for all.
Big shout out to Two-Face Media. Big shout out to Jester, Space Case, and everybody and him and all his. Man, he's a great dude.
Big shout out to other Jester as well, who has been providing every beat to start us out with.
You/Uncle Deed It on the subreddit.
Yes, sir.
Let's give him his big shout out. Man, yeah, no, but what you were saying about Cole, or what I was saying rather about the YouTube beat scene, Batman's been up there for a long time. Is BVTMAN. He's been dropping beats on YouTube since I was in high school. And I've been writing to his beats since I was in high school. Not condoning it, but back in the day, I was quite the YouTube to MP3 fiend when I was putting together mixtapes. I didn't drop anything for profit on streaming, y'all. I was just dropping Bandcamp shit, but
see, that's my thing. I don't drop anything for profit if I'm going to take it off there unless I'm going to buy the beat. But
exactly,
if I don't buy the beat, I just honestly I'll hop on YouTube and I don't care. I'll just look up like Jid, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole type beats. A lot of times that'll flow into like anabolic beats and stuff like that where you see them on YouTube a lot. And I usually just listen to those guys and just go off. And I love how I love how the algorithm works out for me when I'm freestyling because it'll go from like a lo-fi to boom bap to trap. And I love it because it adds versatility to your rhyme schemes. And that's what's fun about it.
Absolutely. You know what? Off the top of my head, actually, now that we're doing this, because this conversation is gonna ebb and flow, y'all. We haven't put together a proper docket yet. We'll be better prepared next time, I promise. Maybe.
Guys, I just woke up like 10 minutes ago. We're going off the cuff today.
Yeah. So I do want to give some quick recognition actually to some of those really wicked YouTube producers that are out here fucking just killing shit on like Airbit, BeatStars, on their own like independent sites, selling leases.
Huge
facilitating
respect.
all this creation because like that kid Goran, for one, that kid Goran on YouTube, I don't think he needs my shout out, but I use a ton of his beats because he's a fantastic producer. I love using his work. That Kanye Money produced by that kid Goran. Okay. Fucking Taha Beats. I haven't jumped on a lot of Taha Beats recently. They've been making a lot of sort of more like alternative rock type shit, which is cool. It's cool to see somebody putting alt rock instrumentals on YouTube for people to use. But it's just not the type of shit I make, so I haven't been really over there too much recently. But shout out to Taha Beats. Taha Beats is fantastic. And then I also want to give another shout out to who should I give my last one to? I'll probably say, Maybe Piper Beats. Piper Beats, I don't rap over their beats a lot because they got really fucking expensive leases when it comes to those track outs, but they're fucking talented as hell, man. I love Piper Beats. So yeah, that kid Goran, Piper Beats, and Taha Beats, all excellent YouTube producers if you guys are looking to put some shit together. I visit their beat stores often. You should too. Definitely cool shit.
So,
you got any, CliF?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you 3 as well. I'm going to give you Dark Side. I actually had to go back onto my YouTube, but Dark Side, Anabolic beats, like I said, and then just Dan beats is where I usually go for my Jid, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole type beats. They are those 3 guys. They have really like allowed me to. I usually don't buy their beats, and when I do, I'll actually go to their stores. But a lot of times I just freestyle off of them, and they give me a lot of inspiration. They put a lot of emotion. If you're trying to find producers who can give you inspiration, go check out all of them because they have a lot of nuances inside of their tracks that can give an artist a lot of emotion, and that's why I keep falling into those guys. Those are my top 3 out of all of them. Is just Dan, Anabolic, and Dark Side.
Hell yeah, man. Go run them up. Everybody in the chat, everybody who watches this after the stream, go run those guys up. They are very talented guys. And I find that like a lot of people, for some reason, are like really embarrassed to admit that they'll use like a YouTube lease.
Nah, man. Like that's where you're starting out. It's not like you're out here, you're signed to a record label.
I got a point here. No. I got a point here. I'm a dead that. These rappers are doing the same fucking thing. Okay.
Oh yeah.
How many times have you guys heard? How many times have you guys been listening to a fucking like some random shit that came off of like Quality Control? You're listening to some random Young Thug song and you hear the fucking Cash Money AP fucking tag at the very beginning.
Yep.
Cash Money AP is a YouTube producer, bro. They're getting these beats off of YouTube. You look at Logic on Bobby Tarantino too. There is a beat that I actually already had a lease for that Logic went and dropped the fucking song with. He used the same beat as me as a track that I had on my record. So like, these rappers, these real rappers, they're out here. They are cruising these YouTube beats. And if they find fire, they use it. So like, post, fucking use those beats. Do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, go on YouTube Beats. Any producer that's actually watching us right now, please do not be afraid to go put yourself out there on YouTube Beats, dude. Like, you need to. I will go check your shit out. Like, I mean, anybody, if I'll go check it out and I go deep into it and I love rap music, then I know a lot of these rappers who have nothing better to do except for make rap music at this point in their lives. That's what they're doing. They're checking out all these YouTube beats. I mean, just like J. Cole did what he did with his. Like, I could have probably listened to the same beat and he found it and was like, here you go, guy. Go make some money with my name on it.
Nah, exactly, man. But fucking, I actually just looked over to the left of my screen and realized we totally left this fucking Lupe thing just chilling.
Oh yeah, everybody who wanted to learn a little bit from Lupe's syllabus, you've had it for like the last like 10, 15 minutes now.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's that one. Fucking, I wish I could scroll in this. I gotta figure out how to do the I gotta figure out how to make it like follow my window as opposed to just doing whatever the fuck it's doing here. All right, I wanted to show most of the reading list. Because CliF, I think you and I should dive in on a couple of these actually. The ones with
probably
the stars.
So.
Yeah, the ones with the stars were the required ones. Number one required reading for Lupe's rap course was the book Decoded by Jay-Z, which I've not read.
Smart. Jay-Z is somebody to watch. He not just as a rapper, but you guys need to realize that Jay-Z is a businessman, and he has taken rap music and turned it into his own business. That's what he does.
Oh, Hove is a legend for more reasons than one. You know what? I wouldn't argue that Hove has the most consistent discography in the world, but I would argue that when he's at his best, there's no one who can do what he does.
I think you could say the same thing about Ye, but I mean, it's not easy to talk about Kanye West in a proper light anymore. I mean, the dude just has such a great discography, but he's just so hard to relate to.
Yeah, right now it's pretty tough. What I'll say is when it comes to Kanye West, because I absolutely love Kanye West. I do. I can't dead that. I can't dead that out of my heart. I've called Kanye my favorite musician since I was in grade 3 when fucking Stronger dropped, dude. Like,
man,
yeah,
that song got spins all the way through my high school years. All right,
yeah,
like
bro.
that shit was played at every freaking high school dance I went to, middle school dances, elementary school dances. Stronger was played. All right.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And it's like, you know what? No one can take away the legacy that Kanye has for making some of the greatest music there ever was.
You can't take away the stuff that he's done. You can't take away the most Grammys ever won. You can't take away the accolades. You can take away the character, but you can't take away what he's got. You know?
And in 2023, I'll be the first to say, fuck Kanye West. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fuck Kanye West. If any of you motherfuckers on r/Kanye are still out here on your apologist shit, like, get out of here. It's not cool. It's not cool. You can love the art. You can love the art, but you cannot love this fucking rhetoric. And it deserves to be fucking like shit on for sure.
In a darker world, there's music called black metal, which is really just a satanic version of music. Honestly, there's a better way to put it. There's a lot of forms of black metal, and I truly do love black metal. If you've noticed any of my shirts from previous times I've been on shows, it's a lot of black metal-esque stuff. There are a lot of lead singers and musicians out there in black metal bands that have done racist stuff. Some of them have went into some darker areas of the world. A lot of homophobia is in there. You know, there's a lot of negativity from the people there, and that's where you like look into music and you have to learn how to separate the artist from the music. Like, oh, the music's great, but the artist is trash. You know, like the artist is a trash person. You don't want to be around him, and you have to learn how to do that, because if you don't, then you're going to be siding with people who don't deserve credit at all. You know.
And that's the thing, is it's always hard to toe the line, like especially with really passionate music fans, as you and I both are. It becomes really difficult to toe the right side of that line when it comes to separating the art from the artist, while also, I guess, taking the time to recognize the groups that have been hurt by their actions, and kind of not discounting what they've experienced either. And like that's what has disappointed me so much, unfortunately, about the Kanye shit, is I've seen so many people online being like, actually, you know what, maybe they do control everything and this guy's got a point, not understanding the history of, like, you know, anti-Semitic propaganda throughout the world over the past, like, this is a new shit. Like, the shit that he's spouting off is not new shit. They've been like running these tabloids since like 1850. Like, this is the 19th century called. They want their propaganda back, and that is like, it's not new shit, y'all. It's just it's an oppression tool.
And defending these thoughts, you know, are just it doesn't make him just look like a terrible person. It makes you look like a terrible person too, because it's like, oh, you're going to defend that guy? Like, that's like one of your friends gets like abused in a relationship, but you're still going to side with the abuser. Like, nah, dude, there's no way possible. You have to separate yourself from that. Realize that the person's not a good person.
Yeah, and y'all can still love Kanye. Did y'all not hear me at the very beginning of this little diatribe talk about how much I still love Kanye West and how much I love and respect his legacy and his work? I can still denounce the rhetoric. You guys can do it too. That's all I'm saying. Fucking, I know half of you on r/Kanye are 15 years old, but do better. Okay.
Oh man, don't judge those teenagers like that. They're still growing.
Hey man. When I was 15, I was edgy as shit too. I was edgy as a fucking razor blade, bro. I'm like,
man, when I was 15, I was pretty up there with edginess. I don't even have high school friends anymore because of like looking back. I shouldn't have had them to begin with. Like,
yeah, man, there was some off-color shit. There's some off-color shit. I used to run in some weird circles too, but it happens. We all learn and we all grow. Hopefully,
yeah, you gotta be. Yeah, I mean, you gotta cringe at your old self to realize how much you've grown. You know.
Totally. And then you know what? There's growth in that. But hey, we got dudes like fucking Lupe who just you never have to cringe at. They just stay dope.
And they stay making great music, like underappreciated.
Except for lasers.
Hey, hold on. We're not going to talk trash about lasers.
Are you coming out here with lasers defense?
Yeah, listen, are you going to you can get worse. You can get worse.
Okay, for one, I need to apologize to literally everybody who I ever said that Show Goes On is the superior version when compared to Float On. I'm so fucking sorry I ever said that to any human being when I was in middle school.
I can't believe you did say that. Like, if you can, Modest Mouse overdoes that all day long. I'm not going to say that Lasers was the best album that Lupe ever dropped, but I'm not going to let you say that you can like trash on it when there's way worse to go off of.
Oh man. Yeah. You know what? That
been
album,
some terrible albums in rap.
That album's just so corporatized. You know what? It's you listen to it and it sounds like a fucking 2011 time capsule. It literally sounds like Eminem's fucking Recovery. Like production wise. And tell me like none of Macklemore's albums like don't sound like I don't know, middle class cul-de-sac white boy trying to be a SoundCloud rapper. You know, yeah, there's a lot of corn. There's a lot of corn on the plate when it comes to Macklemore. I will die on the hill that The Heist is a pretty decent listen.
Listen, this man legitimately went and made a song, and he did what every other white rapper does if they want to go get, canceled forever. And he made a song called White Privilege. And that was it for me. Oh, God, I remember that. Wasn't there some really, really terrible fucking takes on there, too? They were like the cringiest fucking takes. It was like scared to acknowledge the benefits of my white privilege. Nah, bro, you're not supposed to acknowledge them. You're supposed to like try to get like white privilege not having to be privileged. But
and that's the thing is like a lot of people still like white privilege. Okay, white privilege. I'm not gonna go on this diatribe for too long because I'm gonna get too like fucking school lecturery on these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
but for the people who don't understand, like the concept of white privilege is not necessarily related to your white skin. It is a political science concept that is just kind of the westernized version of in-groups and out-groups in our society that are created by political rhetoric. So occupying one of the world's most powerful political in-groups there has coded benefits to it. But the lines of what's considered white are also always shifting and changing. It's not like just white people as like white Europeans that are like from fucking Germany and have blue eyes and blonde hair like Hitler was trying to say was white. But like, in 2023, I think most people would probably consider a dude like Ben Shapiro to be a white guy. You know what I'm saying? But if you go back to the 1940s, there's no way anybody would have said like a Jew is like a white person. That's what I'm saying. It's like not only do the lines of what white is change over time, they also change depending on where you go. And it's not actually related to white skin in general. It's just kind of the name is kind of stems from like the fact that most of the people who have been in this historical political in-group have been of lighter skin tone. It's just so fucking, I don't know. I'm never talking about white privilege again. That is it.
You can't really talk about white privilege without stepping on eggshells. No,
yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I mean, because there's so much. It's such a loaded term.
It's not even that. It's the fact that, in my opinion, and I have to look at you and say this, as white people, we shouldn't even be allowed to talk about it. I mean, in true statements, we shouldn't even be allowed to sit here and try to say something like that, because who are we? In my opinion, equality is equality. I don't look at anybody differently from who they are, what they like, who they like, what their skin complexion is, and I never will. But it's like, as a white person, I understand that there has been a history, especially in America, there has been a history of white people just pushing down every minority class. We had white people, I think 2 years ago saying, build that wall to any Mexican they saw on the street.
Straight up.
Go back to the 60s, you got black people getting hosed down and eaten by dogs. Like, who am I as a white man to try to even sit here and understand that oppression? The only thing I can do is try to be a better version of anybody that came before me.
Precisely. And that's the thing is it just comes down to the fact that you and I, as people who occupy that political in-group, will never be able to understand. We will never be able to understand what it is like to be on that outside. It's a very specific outside that has very specific connotations and is very linked to power. And it's a very unique experience that we just can't fucking get, like, when it comes down to it. I mean, we can learn about it, we can do our best to understand it, but we're never going to know what it's like to, a blind guy doesn't know what it's like to see red.
Yeah,
he knows what red is. He could fucking like get 100% on a test about the color red, but he doesn't know what red looks like.
Exactly, and that's just one of those things. In my opinion, it all comes down to I can understand being poor, I can understand coming from poverty, I can understand it all day long, but I can
class is in my. I mean, fucking, I'm not bringing that shit into this stream. But,
no. Like I can understand that, but don't ask me to like say that I understand being black because I'm not black. I can never understand it.
And that's the thing is, like, I'm even speaking from like a whole nother fucking outside because I'm up like in fucking Canada. Like I don't even have the same kind of shit going on. Like our country, we have some really shitty fucking like racial shit towards like people of different ethnicities. Like people from Asia catch a lot of shit here. But
xenophobia is not just in the American states. Xenophobia is global. People don't like. You go to the Middle Eastern countries and they don't like certain people from this country. It's a terrible thought process, Like I don't like getting on the subject of race because I am from the red South states, Like I grew up from like cornbread and chicken and the South will rise again, and I'm just like, no, that's not how the South thinks. That's not how I think, at least. If that's how the South thinks, then fuck them. I don't want to think like that.
Do you fuck with country music at all?
There's like there's a touch of like. There's a touch of country music that I like. I'll mess with old school country, some bluegrass.
All right.
It's all about right there.
I might have some shit to show you after this. Actually, some very forward-thinking modern country music. I'm a country hater personally, but this guy. You know what? Fuck it. I can shout it. I can shout about on stream. Shout out to Adeem the artist. If you guys are not familiar with Adeem the artist, he's got a very small following as of right now, but he's been making some waves over the past couple months. Dropped a new album called White Trash Revelry in December. White Trash Revelry is the first and only country album I've ever loved. So you guys can go take a look at that if you're interested. And I like actually using that as a segue to kind of get back into music because I do want to make it clear this is not a political podcast. Maybe I'll do a political podcast somewhere else. I am educated in the subject, but this is a music podcast first and foremost.
I'll sit on a political podcast with you. We can go back.
Fuck
and forth. Me and you have the same. We sat there for like an hour talking to each other, like maybe an hour and a half,
like Sunday or something.
And we just clicked, man. Like I was like, and you were like shocked. You're like, how can somebody from like the southern red state of America like have your mindset? And I'm like, well, I saw my family said they were terrible and said I'm not doing that.
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. It was an eye-opening experience for me because it revealed to me that even as progressive as I try to be, I'm still not immune to bias. I had bias towards you and I did things that I assumed about your beliefs just based on where you come from. That's kind of fucked up.
And in the most positive mindset, I want you to understand that I had this belief that like Canadians were like so well off and doing great, and you opened my eyes to realize that Canada's in a shit show itself. Like I mean,
it's not going great up here, man. I'll tell you what.
Like, let's run to Canada.
I'll tell you what. The convoy people are out of their fucking mind, but they're not doing what they're doing because they're happy with the state of the country. Yeah. And most of the people against them are not kind of happy with the state of the country either. We just disagree on whose fault it is.
I will say I've been looking at the YouTube chat and it looks like we got 6 people watching right now. So
damn.
I guess we should go ahead and start these feedback shows because we know what everybody's here for.
Oh man, my boy Larkin just walked into our fucking white privilege conversation. He's
thrilled. Oh god,
no, that's my homie. That's my homie. He's got bass taste too.
He's probably sitting here like, what is this Cracker Jack box talking about?
He's like, what did I just drop into? Oh goddamn. Yeah. We got a handful of people coming and chilling out right now. So I think, you know what, maybe because we've already been at it for like fucking 40 minutes. Yep, about that, 40 minutes. We can get into some of these entries for fucking, what was it? What did I call this shit? It was just like, I think self-promo shit, just random self-promo shit. Yeah, anything you guys want to self-promote.
I think we were on the Reddit channel. Let me, I love being able to just like go down and still be able to talk and understand what's going on. Computers are great.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay, so I've got this this one on the subreddit from u/Wokabo. Someone new. I don't think that they've submitted to us before, but I'm glad to see them coming and hanging out with us today.
Mm-hmm. I love seeing new people trying to promote themselves. Hey, I will never judge you for hopping into just random places and spamming your stuff just so they can get talked about. If you hype yourself up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you guys want me and CliF or just me or whoever else to come and like fucking, review your shit or kind of give you some feedback, give you some advice on how you can improve, so just drop it in the thread, man. r/NoC notes on Reddit. r/NOCNOTES. Go and drop some shit.
Does that say Wokabo?
Wokabo.
Wokabo. I fuck with that. That's a cool ass name.
Mad Max. Let's go.
I've been smoking on that dope in the heads, man. What? They be blowing on my phone like, where your ass at? I'ma walk out to my car and bring the strap back. Yeah, I be riding with these demons like it's Mad Max. Fuck a raw, I ain't even hit the cash yet. I'm a passer, but we run it like a halfback. We gon' walk up in your shit like where the stash at. I just hit an ace, we ain't playing blackjack. Turn around, Scorpion, bring your ass back. I'm in yo bitch's kitchen eating yo kids' fruit snacks. Lil Timmy came out asking where the juice at. Gave him lean, now we acting like he 2-pack. Dick in my 9, call me Cabo, 2 straps. Run up in your shit like bitch with a boom at. She like, K, you bad bitch, I already knew that. I've been smoking on that dope in the heads, man. What? They be blowing on my phone like, where your ass at? I'ma walk out to my car and bring the strap back. Yeah, I be riding with these demons like it's Mad Max. Blast him, made through his window where we fly right past him. Tie him to the car, we gon' fucking Mad Max him. VR, bitch, since you really bout that action. Buckshot shorty, I'ma blow him out his Paxson. Cable going hard, think I'm really gaining traction. Talking about your money, I'ma teach you about subtraction. Talking about my money, I'ma teach you about the adding. A15, bitch, nothing but that trapping. Oh yeah, catch him out in traffic. I'ma hit him with that static.
Bruh, what the fuck was that?
I wasn't ready for that.
I was not, dude. All right, that one's fucking called Mad Max. Produced by DB Tricks, is by KBO, also known as Wokabo on WoKBO on the subreddit. WoKBO indeed. Holy motherfuck. Go ahead, CliF. I'm still collecting myself.
So first things first, I'm gonna be harsh about this. That was great. That's the harshest way I'm gonna start this out. That was fun. That was new age. That was new wave. I fuck with it. It gave me like, how do I even put what that gave me? It was like some underground type. When I hear that, I think of like rappers like Bones, Ghostmane, OCD, stuff like that. People who are like doing stuff like Suicide Boys, jumping around. The only thing that I would have like told you to do is on that second verse, instead of going back to that same flow pattern, like jump into that speed shit. Like that would have been the perfect place to like that bass drops, just like, like you could have like rolled through some words, man. And it would have like put that right over the top. That beat was fun. And the fact that I could hear like the charisma and the character going through that, man, like real shit. There was a lot of character in that, and there was a lot of new age style that I wish we could see more of here. I will say that in our group, I would love to see some more new age trap, New York drill type, underground Bones-ish. I don't even know how to put it other than Bones-ish or Ghostmane-ish. Like I'd love to hear more sounds like that, more beats like that come through. I want to see that new age really get their time to shine, and this is one of those times where this dude shined through that new age style.
Absolutely, man. WoKBO, fucking Mad Max. All right, so yeah, like CliF said, this one was fucking just energy was top notch. Is one of the actual one of the tougher things that I find for people who are just like making music as a hobby, or we're like kind of cruising for beats online, trying to figure it out, do whatever, is that chemistry between the artist, like the vocalists themselves, and the beat that they're rapping on. I would have fucking guessed that you and DB Tricks were like in the stew together, like cooking that for you. Like that shit just sounded fucking. I love get like super fucking aggressive, energetic shit like that. I agree with CliF. It needed a switch up in the second half. If you were gonna switch, like if you weren't gonna switch up the flow, you needed to bring the energy higher. You know, obviously you have at least the most marginal amount of inspiration from guys like XXXTentacion. You know, like fucking, it really could have used like one of those extra, like, you know how, what was that fucking breakout track that he had?
You talking about for X? Like,
yeah,
for me,
the first one. What was the first one he really popped with though? What was that song? I've been can't keep my dick in my pants. Hey,
all I can think about is Floor 555 when you say that, because that was my breakout track. That was my breakout track for X. Like when I listened to Floor 555, I was like, this is like new age aggressive. Let's make a mosh pit and rap music type shit. Gave me some Golf Wang type shit, you know.
Fucking love Odd Future, Jesus Christ. But oh yeah, okay, hang on. Because I did, it was Look at Me. Look at Me was the song that I'm talking about.
Yeah, Look at Me was good.
Yeah. He had like on that song he did a flow switch up in the second half. I think in Sippin' Tea in Yo Hood he went on like a way harder inflection for the second half of that song.
Yeah. God, that fucking hook will always get you hype, bro. That
Sippin' Tea in Yo Hood, absolutely.
Yeah, that fucking hook will get you hype as fuck.
Yeah, bro. He you know what, X is another one of those artists where like separating the art from the artist is kind of necessary because he was kind of a piece of shit, but man knew how to make a banger. Most certainly knew how to make a banger.
Yeah. I think you really, and I don't try to like defend a lot of artists, but nowadays people like Juice WRLD, Lil Peep, X, you know, I can blame their attitudes on their addictions. I will say that a lot of those rappers, they were battling addictions because of like where they came from. And I feel like they could have been a completely different person, and they probably could have lived longer if they would have gotten out of that pill life, that party life, and just focused on rapping. But who am I to like judge anybody for getting out in this world like that?
Yeah, absolutely. And like, you know what? I agree to an extent at the same time, but when X was still around, I definitely watched that No Jumper interview. That like
anytime you put No Jumper into a context, it's like, let me tell you something. I'm going to say this on live podcast time.
Do it. Send it. Are we throwing shots at Adam?
Fuck No Jumper, okay?
Fuck Adam 22.
Cringe ass. Fuck that cringe ass attempt at cultural appropriation. Like, fuck that dude.
Yeah, official fucking r/NoC Notes BASSJUMP podcast stance is fuck Adam 22.
Yeah, I can't stand him because like his opinion on women, his opinion on people, the people that he brings in, like the entire like showboating aspect of his entire podcast is just disgusting to me. Like, women don't deserve to have it. Oh man, like some of the things they talk about, some of the things that the sub shows off of No Jumper talk about, like these people are disgustingly terrible human beings, and they get views, they get loves, they get laughed at, and I'm like, nah, this isn't funny, this is disgusting. Like somebody needs to knock you right in your shit and not look back. Like,
yeah,
God,
and
dude.
like I fucking, you know what, I don't hate everything Adam 22 does, but like I said, those rhetorical elements are really like a really massive piss off, because it's like, yeah, like I mean,
my bad.
Fucking like people need to.
You don't hate everything. You don't think everything he does is bad.
You know what? When it comes, Adam is one of those cats who, like, in certain contexts, he can pull something off. I don't think that he went like. Did you see the Nick Fuentes fucking interview or no?
I don't think I did. I try to stay away from No Jumper.
Okay,
they kept popping up. Yeah, like I remember the first time I saw No Jumper, they popped up on my feed, and I was glued because I was just so shocked that people had the ability to do something like this, like to have that mentality and actually speak it with truth. I was in shock, and I tried to stay away. Me and my buddy Jabari, like, we trash No Jumper a lot. Like, we'll watch it for comedy because there's no way these individuals can be this terrible of people. But then, like, you laugh because you realize, like, yeah, they're that fucking terrible.
I was gonna say, yeah, I used to watch the old interviews, so I'm thinking like circa 2016, 17, when it was like super early.
Well, see, that was probably when he was hungry, but once he got a following, it was like, I'm going to try to do anything I can that gets me famous and more people watching, and I'm just going to make controversial statements.
Yeah, I think
that's where it went.
I think you might have got, like, because I fell off the No Jumper train, and what you're describing is like stuff that was very limited when I was watching, but like now that I think about it, yeah, he was entertaining a lot of like manosphere perspectives, like dudes like Kevin Samuels and shit. Entertaining all these fucking like pickup artist types and like all this red pill shit. It's like, yeah, it's cringy as fuck. Like,
yeah, he went very, it was like he wanted to pick the most controversial topics he could find and go on the wrong side of history with it, you know, like. And when I started listening to the things he said and how much how much like passion he said it with. I was like, either he's a really good bullshitter or he's a terrible person. And either way, I didn't want to follow through with it. There was no way I wanted to follow through with that.
Hey man. I respect it. I've definitely not followed people for less, most certainly. But the point of bringing that up was is to give our flowers to KBO with Mad Max, produced by DB Tricks. Mix it up in the second half, bro. But other than that, I thought this track was fucking perfect.
And hop on a cypher, bro. Like go on to this boom bap shit and see what happens.
Yeah.
Also, Jester, Two-Face Media. Controversy does sell. What's going on, bro? It's glad to see you in the chat. I thought I'd step back and go ahead and say that. But yeah, back to Cabo. Is that
KBO? I don't know.
Like let us know how you want to say that. But yeah, either way, dude, keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy that new wave style and like try to incorporate. We usually go boom bap on a lot of our cypher takes, or some jazzy type lo-fi style stuff. Go ahead and hop on there and change your flow up, see whether you like it. You know, become more versatile with it and see how it changes up the way you do things on the new wave stuff too. Yeah,
man. Let's see if you could bring some of that energy to like a boom bap beat. That's some shit I might not have heard before. All right, I got another one up. This one is going to be from our boy Blood Red, also known as Redistopheles. He's a previous Cypher winner.
Disclaimer, it's going to be fucking good.
It's going to be heat. It's going to be heat. Everything this man touches is heat. But I think that what he has posted is begging a little bit of background. So this was written and recorded in 2020. I'm reading the notes that he's left for us on this entry. It was recorded in 2020 in the December following the news of the pandemic. It is a track that he comes back to often when he is feeling the weight of writer's block, and it's one of the sea of nah demos that he feels is genuinely meaningful. In fact, it may have been a crucial turning point in his development as a composer, and there's a verse on it by his homie SVG, which is one of his favorites that SVG ever did. So thank you very much for that background, my friend. If you guys post entries to this podcast for us to like look at shit and you want to give us a little blurb, I will read it out just like I did there. Just something to think about when you guys are making your submissions. If you want to give like kind of a writer's notes vibe or a specific thing that you want us to look out for and feedback for you, that'd be the place to do it. But without further ado,
I love that backstory. Yeah, just wanted to say that I love that backstory from Blood Red, dude. Real shit.
Yeah.
That was deep. I like hearing like how this song could impacted you, because I feel like if you're gonna make music, it's got to impact you in some way, and that's really dope to hear.
Absolutely. I can't wait for it to impact these eardrums in about 5 seconds. Shout out to Blood Red, Redistopheles on the subreddit. Let's see what my boy cooked up for us. Oh, we got a live joint.
Maybe I'm hella faded. I graduated from wasting my time waiting to painting pictures and writing scriptures. I'm opposite Satan. Welcome you to my haven. My mind retreats in some beats like they sponsor me. A monster, I'm steak and lobster. Starving artist shtick. Sitting in your ribs doing flips. Tell your bitch to get a grip. Shit hanging off my dick. And when I'm off that mid, shooting shots like the Sundance Kid. Shit. Empty clips without an empty head. Sherlock visualizing how I'm sneaking out this woman bed. I got a jet, then forget. Have a cigarette, deep breath. Shit.
I'm liquored up, but don't get it twisted. I've been independent since I can remember. Enjoying the heat in the heart of December. Ain't never content, so I go until I'm fucked. The weather ain't never enough to stop me, deny me from harnessing honesty. God, think I'm not more like the devil, opposite of what I do this for me, I don't do this for love. As long as there's air in my lungs, the rhythm's a drug, the beat is the needle, I'm hooked on the drums. One night of the week, I be catching that buzz. Straight out the gutter, to be unproductive, to wishing I drunk, that this what my life was. I'm sick of dreaming, I know that I'm beaming, I'm about to get this night unstuck.
Yes, sir.
God damn. I'm gonna let this one ride. Had to let that one run out. God damn, man. You know what? I'm going to go first for this one.
Go ahead.
Blood, man, I really appreciate what you do. Just like as an artist perspective, like artist to artist, I'm a fan. It was very cool to hear you over that kind of production and something so stripped back. And I actually think that, I mean, I know this is supposed to be a feedback session for y'all, but honestly speaking, I feel like I have a lot to learn from especially how your homie approached that first verse, because I have an aversion to rapping slowly. I feel like I can't carry it with my voice. I feel like I can't sound like that kind of calm and cool and collected enough to draw out my voice on that kind of tempo. So that'll be a cool reference point for me, because I think I might challenge myself by trying to do something like that. All in all, man, great track. I really felt that weight that you were describing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand why this is one that you come back to kind of reinvigorate you from every time to time, because thematically, I think I deduced about halfway through that I don't think that this is a legit open mic. I think that y'all did like a studio recording of this. And then added in those effects in the back, which is a very cool concept, I do have to say. I've only very recently begun experimenting with things like sound effects in my music as recently as like last month. If y'all listen to Kanye Money, I did a bunch of shit that I worked in there into the instrumental, a bunch of like random samples and shit of like just background noise.
The ocean waves.
The ocean waves, indeed. I got some seagulls in there. Did you hear the seagulls?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, you were on the track.
I sure hope I heard it, man. I heard it before it was even dropped. So, you know, I was there. I was there watching it get built. I don't know if you know that or not.
Exactly. But yeah, fucking blood, man. Shout out to you as well, my guy, because you know what? Hearing you over that kind of production as well, I've heard you up to this point on some more energetic shit. You hold your own, and it's really a testament to how good at this fucking art shit that you are, my guy. I would have loved to hear a hook. I would have on this one, on the sole basis that those background vocals that were working in there were just so goddamn beautiful. I think that if you guys were able to get a singer to back up those vocals, maybe somebody with a bit of a like a lower male voice or something like that to kind of hop on as a hook, could have really like made that just on that extra step. Like I was getting some like really, really incredible vibes off this. And I think that like, this is not one you should be done with. I actually think that the two of y'all could even add to this, by adding, like building it out to that, like adding in a chorus or something, and having that run, having a singer play around with this. Cause this is a beautiful instrumental. It's beautiful verses. I really like that Sundance Kid bar that your Ryan SVG homie did. And yeah, just all in all, I really appreciated this. Yeah, I think that you should build it out more. Not because I think that what it is lacking, but because I think that what it could be is like fucking some seriously top tier shit. Cliff?
All right, so on the opposite end of that spectrum, I don't think I would have done a traditional hook. I don't think I would have brought a singer in at all. I think it would have allowed the people in the background to be making their noise like a shuffle, kind of like you're in like a crowded room or a party type thing, and just have like a conversation with your buddy in the background. That jazzy bluesy style to me is just, it's hard to do. My buddy Amari, he came out with COVID Floor, and I showed Zach it.
Yeah.
And that first verse really gave me that same vibe that he was on. And he did the singing hook, and I thought it was really good. But for this one, it was way more jazzy, way more laid back, way more slam poetry. Like for this one, I think I would have like just had a conversation in the middle of it to really spread it out. But what I love the most was the transition between the two artists. I love that, like, it's something that me and you talk about a lot, Zach, where you want to have that personality, that jump in one, but you want to have that level-headed edge on the other side.
Balance.
And that's what you got here. You got that level-headed, you know, da 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 da, you know, that conversation talker. And then the next guy came in and he was like, I'm gonna just like flow like water. And that's exactly what he did. And that's what you need to have with two artists, is that right there. And all I think that could have made that better was that little bridge where you could have had a conversation about life, you know, something that just really brought this all together. Because in this standpoint, I loved it. I loved everything about this. It gave me like new age Frank Ocean vibes. It gave me, you know, my buddy Amari, Brody Dharma. If you've never heard of him, please go check him out. He's been rapping for a long time. He's great. And that right there gave me vibes that he has going for him.
If we got time at the end of the show, man, I'll do spin on COVID floor for your boy.
Yeah, man, most definitely. I don't know if he would care. I mean, promotion is promotion, right?
Yeah, promotion. Fuck it. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Much respect to him. You know, like I said, that guy I'm talking about, man, he's the reason that I'm a rapper. You know, he helped me when I had nobody else helping me, just laughing at me because I was just a white kid trying to rap.
Oh man. Yeah, no, we'll give him some flowers too. I think we might have some time. We got, let's see, I think we're down to our last 2 feedback submissions. Well, actually we'll do 3 because I submitted 1 too. And I guess if we're doing yours, we're gonna do mine. Fucking here we go. So it's me, it's you, and then it's Friendly Purchase. Our boy u/friendly_purchase_82 on the subreddit goes by AC Davis on BandLab. Also goes by, he goes by AD Rocky on SoundCloud. So we got one from him too. Do you want to dive in on that one, or do you want to give us a go first?
I'll let you make that decision. Either way, I'm going to give the feedback to it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, you know what? Hold
up.
Go ahead.
Before we go anywhere, in the chat, we got a guy named Ryan who is saying, thank you guys. Ryan, I have no idea if you're blood red
or... shit. No, he's probably Ryan SVG. He's probably Ryan SVG.
Okay,
the cat
there we go.
The guy who did that front end verse. That really, really
hey,
nice
there we go. Hey, man. You're welcome, dude. A lot of love to that song. A lot of love. There we go. Just trying to catch up and figure out who all these people are. You know, I'm looking and I'm like, okay, random person I've never seen before. Let's go with that.
Fucking shout out to you, CliF. I'm like really trash at paying attention to the chat today. That's on me.
Yeah, like I watch too many Twitch streamers to not miss the chat, you know, because some people be dropping some funny ass bars in the chat and you got to like stop and be like, yo, shut up for a second. Listen to this.
Man, I got to start I got to figure out how those Twitch streamers get the chat to appear on screen. I got to do that for this stream.
I think, I might want to, I got a friend who does Twitch, and I might ask her, like, "Hey, how do you get those chatters to come up on your stream?" You know, so
because you know I know how to move the screen around. You see me do it.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm bouncing between 4 tabs right now to see what you're talking about. The YouTube channel is like 5 seconds behind our channel. So,
there you go.
So the only time I turn the mute off of the YouTube podcast is actually when we actually start listening to music.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I got you.
It keeps me from being so confused on trying to hear you say something twice 5 seconds apart. That latency's it's rough.
Yeah, definitely gets you there. Okay, so our boy, we will start with our boy AD Rocky, also known as Friendly Purchase 82 on the subreddit. Now he did submit a project, and I did let him know that we would, or I let everyone know, I will say, that if they submit a project, we'll just pick one at random. So I can either go for the track with the most plays, or we could pick a random. What do you think we should do, CliF?
Pick a random. I want to get surprised. You know, the most plays, it's been heard a lot. I want to hear something that's probably not been played much.
Sure. All right. So in that case, since you can't see the track, let's pick a number between 1 and 13.
12.
All right. Fucking Self-Esteem by AD Rocky is coming soon. As soon as I have a second to like actually get it on my screen here and out of my headphones. All right. Our boy AD Rocky is coming out here with the joint Self-Esteem. Let's go.
I get my self-esteem from rapping shit. If I can help you out with words of wisdom, that's the shit. But you can't fill nothing up with a damn empty cup. And I feel incomplete, that's the way your boy actions been. Is it a source of pride? Is it a source of none? Is it because the lie that I done got no one? I'm looking for dope guys, and it's a what the fuck? Your luck is better finding angels in hell, bruh. All of my goddamn friends are living up in seminary. I wish that I was dead, cause hope has been done buried. My mind is in a cemetery. I swear if I could go back to being where shit's up married, yeah. Don't give a single motherfucking I'm sick and tired of these fool-ass pricks. Don't give a single motherfucking shit. My guy, I'm full of shit. I got some ammo cause my mind is so damn full of clips. From my past, I'm sick and tired of these fool-ass pricks. Don't give a single motherfucking shit. My guy, I'm full of shit. Treat symptoms, not the problem. You're fine till you wanna off them. Then your ass is like Jeff Dahmer when they layin' in the coffin. My mind is like a cell and my heart has lost the key. It takes a lot more than skill if you wanna rock with me. Why am I unsure of myself? I used to wake up every morning, mirror groping myself. But you can't lay up in the bed every morning and yell, cause that isn't the way that you gon' be hoping for help. Up in school I was bullied, people would push and pull me, all because my ass ugly. But I fuck chicks and I rolling, and that just ain't no braggadocio. I'm just showing you guys that this shit ain't so hopeless, yo. Hey, I don't give a shit. Look up on my dick, you bitch. Yo, got a clitoris. Yeah, man, I don't give a shit. Hey, I don't give a shit. Look up on my dick, you bitch. Yo, got some clitoris. And I'ma hit them pricks.
All right, man. I don't know if you did that beat, but if you did, that beat was fire. I didn't see a producer credit on there, so I'm gonna assume that you might have. Yeah, that instrumental was fucking insane. I really like how the guitars came in kind of midway through the track. The one thing that I think that I do want to kind of give you to focus on though moving forward, and this is something that we've talked about a little bit in your ciphers, and I think I've kind of pinpointed something that it is, you know, on one end of what you're trying to do versus what you're achieving. And I think I have some advice that might be able to help you. So when we were talking about, in a previous stream, we had mentioned something about your flow being a little bit too, it kind of meanders a little bit and it lands it kind of, it's almost like every single, you know, your voice flows in quarter notes, which is a little bit of it's a little bit jagged. It kind of gives it this like staccato quality that doesn't really flow too nicely. But you've said that you're kind of trying to do like a mumble thing that's kind of a little bit more chill, that's a little bit more like stoner rap kind of vibe. If you're going to do that, you've got to find a way to stop doing that 4/4, like that quarter note kind of time signature. Cause like there's a couple lyrics in there that like really would have sounded more solid than they do. If it wasn't delivered in this way, there was so and it was more like, I did a thing today. I don't know how to. I'd need the lyric sheet up in front of me. But I could probably like re-rap some of those where like the approach was just a little bit better, or a little bit like not better is the wrong word, but just like a little bit more smooth, I guess you could say, because that staccato thing right now that you're doing is not working for you. And I think that you can do the mumble thing, and you can have the mumble thing work well. But you gotta find your like voice and the way that your voice is gonna mesh with this beat. There's got to be a harmony, because I don't think that the hopping kind of flow that you're doing right now is working as well as it could. And especially with a track where you're talking about things that like even I can relate to, like kind of talking, like looking in the mirror and shit, and kind of like pinching the random fucking spots. You know what I'm saying? Like looking at what's wrong with you, kind of. There's some like definite weight to what you're saying, and like I recognize the desire to make something impactful. Especially when on that like, you know, bridge kind of outro section where you were talking about, you just want to make shit that like people kind of feel, and like you want to be there for people through this music, which is really admirable. It's one of the reasons that I make music too. So like it's something I can really relate to. I just think you'd be a little more successful in that pursuit if you know, like I said, do the chill thing. The chill thing can work for you. Keep your voice low, keep kind of doing it the way that you're doing it, but you got to find a way to smooth the flow out. So it's not like every single thing is slap. It's like I'm going to call it the bunny hop. You gotta ditch the bunny hop.
I'll call it the bippity boppity boo.
That's another one. There you go. So CliF, I think this is a good time for you to chime in.
First of all, I see you're in the chat, 80. What's going on, dude? I'm going to take you to school for a second. First things first, that flow, you want to sound like you're not talking straight out of your cell phone. That's one of the biggest problems I see a lot of artists who are trying to make music have, is that they'll hold their cell phone up like this right here or like this. And when they do, their neck and their chin comes down and it blocks the path for you to actually talk with some type of presence. And it hinders vocals. I'm not going to lie. That's the biggest thing I heard, was like the hindering of the vocals when you have your head down trying to read it from I could actually tell you were reading it either from a book or a phone, which is fine. You know, we all need that. But that can also cause the flow to be hindered by it as well, because you're trying to read those words. You had a lot of great lyricism there. You had a lot of things that could, with the right flow, would have just rolled right off the tongue. And I think you have the basis down. You know, you're feeling the tempo, and you got the tempo in your words. Now you want to let the tempo go to your hands or your feet. That way, when your words come out, they're their own little, you know, amalgamation of flow. That's where you get away from the talking with your mouth, and you talk with your hands, but you allow the flow to come out of your mouth a whole lot cleaner. And that sounds real confusing, but you'll understand it once you sit in front of a microphone and you're like hearing the beat, and you change to your hands, and now you're snapping your finger, tapping your foot, and now the words come out a whole lot smoother, a whole lot cleaner. And another thing is, memorize those words so you can get away from that phone.
Yeah, that's a big help. I just to quickly chime in, a big thing that I do when I'm making music is I always record demos first. I'll record just a 2-track demo. I'll do like the main vocal layer. I'll fuck it up a billion times, but it's just so I can learn the lyrics. And then I'll also do like a background layer to kind of give it some oomph. And sometimes the demo that I make is actually the best recording that I can bang out. That happened to me. I was recording something yesterday, and I spent like an hour in this fucking room recording music, and then I felt like the demo version that I recorded was better, so I just kept that.
Most definitely.
And that does happen. So like I would recommend kind of like demoing it out, memorizing your lyrics, and then trying again. Because yeah, actually now that CliF does mention it, I kind of get the even now you can kind of hear it in my voice how it muffles it a bit when you kind of go at it that way. Yeah. Word. Shout out to Two-Face, 80 Rocky. I fucking love your attitude, man. I actually cannot fucking get over how good this kid's attitude is.
I mean, you have to. Like, this is your starting years. You know, I don't mean to cut you off here, Zach, but this is just. For me, it's like, this is your starting out time. You're 18, man. You're young. You know, when I was 14, I sounded like utter trash, dude. Like, I sounded like shit. I won't even argue that. If I would have like even stepped foot into a recording process at 14 when I started trying to rap, it would have sounded like hot garbage. And personally, I'm thankful I didn't start, you know, downloading music until I was, you know, more, you know, got a better foundation of rap music. But even going back and checking out some of my older tracks, they have that green problem, to where you're kind of like offbeat, you're flowing a little choppy, you're kind of like, you're not understanding the punch is where you hit things at. And it just goes away with time. It goes away with good feedback. It goes away with great help. And, you know, for you to sit here and take our feedback and not get like sourpuss about it, like some people have in my life.
Some people have.
Yeah. Like, people go real upset. They're like, you don't have to, like, you know, some people, they don't even want to get critiqued. They just want to show you their music. And then when they get critiqued, they like have a pissy fit. You know, I'm just like, what did you expect? You show me music, I'm going to give you my opinion on it, you know? But off of that soapbox, going on to you, man, like, much respect. I can't wait to see what you say. I see you're going to blow us away the next time. I know you've been throwing these ciphers at us. Keep throwing those ciphers at us. I love seeing the growth. I love seeing the way you're listening and understanding. The feedback is only there for constructive growth, man. Keep going with it. I can't wait to see what else you do, bro.
Absolutely, man. Fucking love that. And yo, shout out to you, 80 Rocky. We're kind of trying to keep it to around 90 minutes, so we should be here for around another 15 or so. But if we have time at the very end, if you want to go slide something into my Reddit DM, it's u/XVI music. If you want to go slide something new into the Reddit DM, we can react to that at the very end if we have time.
Oh, speaking of people who slid something in, Space or Two-Face Media, he dropped something in the Discord with us, and he wants us to go ahead and so go check that out. We can go ahead and check that out next. That way we can go ahead and get Two-Face out here and let him shine, because he deserves his flowers. Dude's sick.
Absolutely. Yeah, I gotta take a quick second because I got that joint that Case sent me, or us, I should say.
You talking about Michelin bars? Is that what you're talking about?
No. He was joking about that. He sent me something else.
Oh, I was confused. I was like, you kept saying us, and I was like, us. Which song are we dropping today?
No. We're not doing that one today. Here, I actually just got to take a second. I've never played some shit out of my Discord directly before.
Yeah, it's something new.
Okay.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and give a huge shout out to Two-Face Media, Jester Exodus, Space Case on Discord. The dude has been nothing but professional, nothing but helpful, nothing but great. I mean, he's dropped, God, I don't know. I've lost count of how many beats he's dropped through Discords between me and Zach for us to hop on and, use. And he's great. He's a great producer. And if you guys need a producer to talk to, go check him out. He's got great beats. He's got stuff for just about anybody who wants to hop on anything. I've gotten, I think right now I got 4 or 5 beats from him right now. I'm probably going to be using nothing but his beats for my EP. And if that's the
guy
case,
to get beats from.
Yeah, dude's great. Much love to him, man. Like, seriously, he's pulled me out of the rut that I was in where I was like, God, I got to make all of these beats. And then, Zach comes in and he's like, hey, you can spend money and have beats. And I was like, oh, that's great. And then, Space comes out of nowhere and he's like, yo, I got all these beats. How do you want to do it? I'm like, oh, that's even better. Like, man, he's been like a lifesaver for this EP because I got like 4 beats I got sitting down with like verses, hooks, all cut around, like all kind of like put together and just pushed into this one little peanut butter and jelly bowl that I'm trying to like separate out and get lined up. I know I got a beginning and an end. It's just the middle pieces of the sandwich that haven't come together yet. And I can't wait to show that off to you guys and promote the shit out of it and give huge thanks to both Space and Zach for everything that they've done, man. Seriously, you guys rock.
Hey man, you rock as well, and like Space Case, Jester Exodus, we know you're in the chat, my boy. So we appreciate the living hell out of you, man. We're gonna give you your flowers now. I'm gonna dive in on this new one that you got. It's called What You Get, featuring Lobotomized Geniuses. It says rough on the MP3 because I'm out here with the world premiere, y'all. Okay, I just want to remind all of y'all to stay hydrated. I got my water on deck. Okay, I have a feeling this is gonna be a wet one. Okay, we got Lobotomized Geniuses, Jester Exodus beats, a new rough cut. Let's see what's in progress.
What's the deal? These new rappers get petty, get cringe. Where to begin? They embracing 7 of the deadliest sins. Quick to blast instead of throwing hands in a pinch. I learned from Craig's that some days you lose and some you win. My very presence makes a room start to spin. They gon' bark like they got heart, but it aren't within. Listen, it took a while for me to see who really got me. A lot of trials from the bottom. I saw who would doubt me, but now they seeing me. Coming up, still being me. The same bum, so they think they can do this so easily. I beg to differ. That same energy will get you quitting, and all those close friends will be your worst critics. A lot of people see through, and I don't mean to vent, but sweat, blood, and tears goes to every earned cent. I see dogs eating dogs when they can't afford the rent. So when a thief's favorite words, what you see is what you get. Nasty.
Yeah, it's all real and no filler. When you're puffing out your chests, I can see you no killers. You talking loud in the sea of bullshitters. Only legacy you're leaving is being a known quitter. I'm never one to run, you can trust. If I would be involved in the shooting, it'd be justified. Cause what you suffer from is nothing but a lust for pride. So calling out lobotomized just gets you humbled twice. What you see is what you get, like it's kleptomania. When the flow hits, your whole clip just kept going lazier. Got me wondering which one of them gets slept on crazier, when every one of them is coming with some stepped on labia. A lot of people see through, and I don't need this shit. My blood, sweat, and tears got me everywhere I've been. I seen dogs fighting dogs, never lived to see the best. So when a thief's favorite words, what you see is what you get. 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 What you see is what you get.
Fuck yeah, that tape out at the very end too. Oh man, I did not pre-listen to that either. Cliff, you got something to say?
I gotta. Woo! Give me a second.
You gotta get your water, homie.
Damn.
You gotta cool off.
Damn, son. Oh man, I drank it all. I'm empty. Fuck, dude, I'm empty.
We got 10 more minutes. We got 10 more minutes. We got 10 more minutes.
I'll get some water. I got 10 minutes.
Right.
I can whip through the desert thirst right here from how hot that is. All right, let me start this off by saying, yo, what the fuck? That was awesome. I had a fun time listening to that. It gave me, oh man, it gave me so many different vibes. Fuck.
I can jump in. I got shit to say.
I'm just, I'm lost. Go ahead. Say
okay, no. Okay. My boy. You are fucking just dropping heat. For one, I know you took care of the instrumental side of things over there, so I'm just gonna give you your flowers on that. I don't know when I noticed it, but you have this kind of like repeated, kind of like do like repeating like background layer at some point in that instrumental, and I love that. I love how fucking cinematic the whole sample chop makes everything feel. There's like a serious kind of like eeriness to it all. It's like the way you have it mixed has a serious sense of space to it, and it's like really reminiscent of that. Really reminiscent of that. Like early kind of, I don't know. It reminds me of like some classic hip hop shit. It reminds me of some like classic shit. Oh, whoa! I see. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt. I see my fiance has found her way to my my YouTube account in the chat. So, hi, babe. I'm glad you're watching.
Watch your language, Zach. Watch your language.
Yeah. Sorry. But no, seriously, that instrumental top to bottom, I absolutely fucking love that thing. I think that in the front end, it might have just been because it was an MP3. Maybe it's like a loudness thing. But it did seem like it was clipping a little bit for me at the beginning. Like I said, I might just have shit turned up too much. Keep in mind, I am streaming this through weird software. It could be doing all sorts of weird shit to the mix. But the verses were super, super cool. They were like really cinematic, and they really had that kind of like, this is something that I appreciate about the guys that you've introduced me to, or the guys you work with, is they always really have really secure ways of creating imagery in their verses, and some really, really fucking funny punchlines. So like just fucking all around, man. I don't know if that's like in progress. It says rough on it, but like that seemed relatively drop ready to me. I think that the second verse guy might have been a little bit louder than the first one, but like, yeah, aside from like small mixing things, I'd say that shit's ready to go.
I'm gonna make mine quick. Here's what I'm gonna say. If you've never heard of a rapper called Diabolic, and you've never heard of a rapper called Immortal Technique, stop whatever you're doing right now and go check them out, because this style, this flow, this aggressive beat, how they were going about it, the way they were bouncing off of each other, it gave me that Diabolic, Immortal Technique type flow. And man, it's something to admire, because it's hard to hit that flow. It's hard to tell stories in that type of flow and make it consistent and make it sound like you're confident when you speak like that, especially when you got two guys with more of a bassy baritone type voice. You know, you really have to earn it. Nowadays, a lot of people are mid-range vocalists or high-end vocalists, but low-end vocalists, you know, like Nate Dogg and people like that are dying out. So to hear guys like this come in here and do stuff like that, it really shows off the prowess that other rappers can have. You guys give me that Midwest vibe to it. I love that. Definite great lyricism, definite great flow. I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10. The only thing I would love to see is, a better mix. Like Zach said, the level seemed off, but like he said, it's coming through a different type of media player, so it could be giving us that problem.
Exactly. But yeah, you know what? Fucking big shout out, man. I wish I had more to give you, but it's another thing is it's like, I admire you from like a fandom perspective. You're such a good orchestrator, and like the way that you build these beats around these vocalists. And I know that you're a fire fucking vocalist too, by the way.
Yeah.
I want to hear you on some of your own beats a little more often, please.
Shout out to Zach's wife as well for saying hi to me. Hi, Zach's fiance, future wife.
Yeah, that's Brooklyn.
Nice to meet you, Brooklyn. Or nice to say hi to you.
Is she in the chat still? I think she is.
Yeah, she just said hi to me, so I was like, let me stop and say hi to her.
All right. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Babe, you're throwing me off. Come on, I gotta focus. I'm doing my show, okay? Just leave me alone. I'll be back in
I was waiting on you to do like, this is my me time.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't say much, man. Dude. My girl's asleep in the bed right now. So
yeah, there you go. I just noticed Blood Red got in here at some point, man. I really hope you were around. I really hope you were around to see all the nice shit we had to say about you, man. You really did. You dropped some cool shit in here earlier today.
Huge hype. Oh man, it's been a very voicey chat. I love to see it.
Yeah, man, we're getting some familiar faces in here on a consistent basis. I really appreciate it. I really love seeing you guys around, man. It's really fun to do this with you. And with that note, we got like 2 more joints on the docket specifically today. So CliF, I'm gonna pick a number between 1 and 10. I've got my number. If you get closer to okay, I have a way of deciding this. Just give me a number between 1 and 10.
Number 6.
Number
buddy.
6. I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
Okay. So what we got here, I'm gonna go and pull this one out. I really wish I had. See, I gotta remember not to use fucking like Spotify or like title links and shit. Because I always link to my like distribution pages, and that's a pain in the ass when you're trying to do this. So I got to go on my SoundCloud now and dig it up. The track that I submitted today wasn't necessarily as much of a feedback thing as more as it was an introduction, because it was in that original introductions thread that we did. This one at the time I thought was probably the most representative of what I was proud of as a rapper. So this is a song that I actually hold very near and dear to me. I had a creative writing class today at my university, and I actually talked about this song during my lecture today, which is kind of funny that I had this on the docket all these weeks ago, and it just kind of happened to work out this way.
Promoting yourself in school. Go ahead, bro.
Hell yeah, man. Actually, you know what? I got a music video to this. Why don't I play that? Give people something to look at.
Yo, is this Mess? Is this Mess?
It's Mess.
I thought so. Yeah, it's great. Hey. I was listening. So before Kanye Money dropped, I was listening to your whole Doubt album with my roommate and my girl, and man, it was just a lot of love there, a lot of hype, man. I was like, yeah, you guys have to check him out. He's a great rapper.
And the new shit, man. I think I've surpassed this. Like, I got this album tatted on me, and I still feel like I surpassed this.
I promise you, it's definitely surpassed, dude. Your lyricism has grown. The people you have surrounding you, between me, Jester Exodus, Space Case. God, I wish I had like a name that everybody knew from him.
Yeah. You know what, Case? You can drop it in our Discord chat. Let me know what you want us to call you. When we're doing these streams.
I got like 12 different names of you, bro.
Yeah, you're all over the map. You're all over the map. That's cool shit, though. But yeah, this one is a joint that I hold very near and dear to my heart. It is called Mess. I filmed this at my old house when I was in like a hell of a fucking like depression episode and hadn't cleaned in like 2 months. Let's fucking check it out. God damn, y'all. I've been like really going through it. And I mean like really going through it.
Nobody know me like my pillow and my blankets and my dishes. I've been waiting weeks to watch procrastinating. Me and the grind, we have the greatest conversations while the ashes from the smoke and keep an anxious mind vacant. Looking back to ponder how I came to be complacent. Mixing liquor with depression was a heady combination. Say the scraps of marijuana like they better than the bottle. It's potato or potato, either way. The sky's so gray, I ain't never wanna see it. Cause even when it's blue, it still be gray, and I believe it. Everything in grayscale, nothing can relieve it. I'm just wondering why ain't nobody else seem to perceive it. The laundry pile inside the room don't even know or really seem to understand. Looking up in hopes of finding answers on a ceiling fan. Maybe I should ask the burger rappers in my minivan if state of things around me is a state of left my mental in. Inside, I don't go outside, I'm never outside, I stay inside, and I stay on this side, never on that side. I don't go outside, I stay inside, and I stay inside. I don't go outside, I'm never outside, I stay inside, and I stay on this side, never on that side. I don't go outside, I stay inside. Yeah, I used to point like 9 doinks with diggity daily, but now we busy and lazy. I'm overworked, feeling crazy. I'm overworking for slavery, wage my paper is Navy, but I'm too stuck to say fuck them until they pay me. And I'm lucky I ain't pushing on no daisies already, even though my home and mental state is heinous already. And I'm glad to say I made it out of basements already, but I see them in my future missing payments already. And I'm spending days all faded reminiscing about the mob, but the floor is begging for me to get up and push the mob. Responsibilities I'm brushing off and looping in my thoughts, so the dust up on my shelves is trying to help but cheer me on. I hit the bong and it all go away. And maybe that's why I'm in this place. I peel it off and it all go away. And maybe that's why I'm in this place. I stay inside, I don't go outside, I'm never outside, I stay inside, and I stay on this side, never on that side. I don't go outside, I stay inside, and I stay inside. I don't go outside, I'm never outside, I stay inside, and I stay on this
even just, you know, lately I'll try and find a moment where I can just go into a room and lay down on the floor and just be in silence. Try to be in silence anyways, right? But that's probably the best way I can describe it. Smoke weed and lay down and be quiet.
Hell yeah. I fucking still love that song, man. It's been like, that was the first shit I ever made money off of.
Let's talk about the beard growth.
It's coming.
Talk about the beard
it's
growth.
coming. It's coming.
Hey,
okay.
Hey, I could show you my first beard and I can show you this one now, and it's like a complete 180. Like I actually take care of my body now, so I get it.
Yeah, it's a whole ass difference. You see me fucking chowing down on that Pizza Hut, bro?
Yeah, most definitely. I was like, damn, bro, he killing that fucking pizza though.
Dude, you know what? I'll talk about Mess just very, very quickly. Because like I said, I posted that for the introductions thread when we started the new subreddit after leaving Hip Hop Warzone. Yeah, man, that was like the first song that I like wrote and properly recorded and released at the time in like over 6 years. I used to make a ton of music when I was in high school. I kind of fell off. I did you know, this and that, had my trials and tribulations, and eventually made it back. Yeah, eventually made it back to making music.
Chad's giving you a lot of love, bro. You got 9 out of 10 from AD.
Oh,
yeah, hits the 2-step from Ryan. I was like, yo, hits the 2-step. Hell yeah, bro, hit the 2-step. Yeah. Hey, real shit though. Like, if I can give you any feedback, bro, this was a dope track. I love the ideology of the music video and how you like showed this like, you know, lost, like a person running around like a chicken with their head cut off, as people in the South like saying. You know, you showed like the forms of anxiety and depression of just wanting to lay in bed, not clean up. I've been there, you know. I've personally been there. Like I sat in here before my girl moved in and I was a mess, dude. Like I had clutter, piles of stuff that I needed to clean up. I never had a sink full of dishes usually, but it was cluttered. It was a mess. And, you know, my depression was really getting the better of me. And motivation is one of the biggest things that depression takes away from you.
Absolutely.
So to see the growth from Mess to this album, just, man, it's a great growth, not just as a rapper, but as like your mental stability has grown, you know, and just to see that, man, kudos to that, bro.
Yeah, I was asked in an exercise today. We were the way it got brought up is we were asked to revisit a piece of art that we had made that we were very, very happy with already. Something that we were really proud of, or something that we had, you know, put a lot of work into finishing or whatever. And for me, that was the song Mess. And we were challenged to try and see if there was anything we could change about it to make it better. And the big epiphany for me was that I couldn't even make the same song now because I'm not in that headspace anymore. Honestly, thank God.
It's hard to put yourself in that same headspace. Depression is a headspace that you don't want to be in forever. And when you get out of it, you don't want to go back and try to recollect it. It's like, you're done. We'll go through the next depressive episode later. But for now, let's go through the happy moments. You know?
Yeah, but sometimes it just works out. Like I did that one in like a day. Not even. I called in sick to work that day, the day I wrote that. I called in sick to work, not because I was sick, but because I was getting so fucking taken to the cleaners by my mental state that I just couldn't bear to go in that day. And my fiance, I can't remember, she was like, it was during the pandemic. I can't remember if she was still in school at the time or she was already working at her new job that she works from home at. But regardless of which, I went out just so she could be able to do her thing. Without me disturbing her. And I went and I parked my car on the side of some random residential road. And I wrote that shit in like an hour.
Yeah.
I was sitting on that beat for a while and I sat down, I wrote that shit in like an hour. I recorded it the same week and I was releasing music again, within 2 months after like a literal 6-year break. I released that shit on the 8-year anniversary of my previous record. So
and then you dropped Kanye Money on what, like the 5-year anniversary?
No, just afterwards. So the 25th would have been the 9-year anniversary of that previous record.
Dude, I'm proud to be a part of that.
Yeah,
you got a lot more love in the chat, bro.
Fuck yeah!
I think
Shout
your
out to all
fiance just
y'all.
said. I think your fiance just said Casey and her think it's a bop.
Fucking okay. It's really funny because she helped me film that video. So I mean, I hope you think it's a bop. You helped me fucking do the visuals for it, but I'm glad, man. I'm glad, but I've got my flowers enough. And thank you to everybody. 80 Rocky, shout out to you. Fucking Jester, Two-Face, fucking Space Case, shout out to you. Blood Red, appreciate you, man. Ryan, shout out to you, bro. Glad to see you in here. Baby Doll, I love you. Shout out to you. fucking, yeah, CliF, it looks like you're kind of going to be our last guy up, man. I think you're going to be the last guy up today.
Yo, did I drop a song? Holy shit.
You
when
dropped
did I drop
a song in there. You did Father Figures, bro.
Holy shit. Oh, Father Figures. Yeah, I love that song. I show that off anytime I get a chance. Like, I need to show other songs, but that's like the same song I put into like the first show, I think.
We've reacted to it. I don't know if we've reacted to it on the stream before. I've heard the song from you before, though. Yeah. And I think you did this beat too yourself, didn't you?
Yeah. So just to give you a little background, one, I think my girlfriend's about to pop out of the bedroom to come give me a hug. But
there you go. That's fine.
To give some background to the song, I didn't have a good childhood growing up with father figures. And this was the first song that I remember writing to completion with the beat and everything. When it first came out, it was an acoustic version, and you can see that on SoundCloud. You'll see acoustic and then non-acoustic. But I remember making the beat to it and working on it, and it was great. Hey, man. So, anywho, I made the beat to the song. I pushed it out, and it was like just me finding closure through the shitty father figures that I had. Much love to them, honestly. But, when I first started out, it was pretty rough between me and them. So this was a great song to give closure to.
I love that background, man. Thank you for giving us that. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to play it here on the stream. And without further ado, our boy u/Maggothead96 on the subreddit, also known as my boy CliF, also known as one half of BASSJUMP, and I will close out the show by telling y'all what that means. But for now, we're gonna listen to Father Figures. Let's go.
Waiting on the couch was eons ago. Just like questioning home. Call dad now, he'll pick up the phone quicker than police could think to respond. It feels so weird to not hate you after everything that you put me through. It feels so weird, these I love yous. I just hope you see it from my point of view. Glad that you're proud you're my dad. But why'd it take near death to get where we're at? Sitting on the couch, having a laugh. You could've had this if you just fought back. Blame it on Mom, blame it on Chuck. But now is the time that excuses are up. Cause in my eyes you're to blame just as much. Even though you believe I have blamed you enough. You are part of why I don't want kids. Cause my dad as a kid was the second shit who broke all my promises. Left me wondering what a dad really is, cause I don't see him. Did you know I was raped? Would you care back then? Well, Mom got it handled like she always did. And father figures never wanna stay, they just let me down every time. Even the ones that stick around wouldn't take the time to listen. Father figures never wanna stay, they just hide behind they fucking lies. As long as they were happy, I was never part of their life mission. And father figures never wanna stay, they just let me down every time. Even the ones that stuck around wouldn't take the time to listen. They wouldn't take the time.
Hold up. I muted that.
Take the time. Dear Pops, I know we haven't talked in a while, and that's my bad. I want you to know that I still love you and nothing will change that. You were all that I had as a dad, and I guess that you really did try. But the pain that you brought to the house had me questioning life, and the choices you made weren't right. You took my lyrics away and taught me to bottle my pain. Any creative idea I had, I felt I had to stuff it away. Cause anytime I'd bring it to you, you practically laugh in my face, and that's not okay. You were supposed to give me hope and support my dreams, but in my home it was opposite day. Another part of why I don't want kids. Cause my stepdad squashed all my dreams and practically hit all my pads and pens. Then told me stories of my real dad to fuel even more hatred of this man. Was this all just part of your plan? His absence of blood on your hands. And father figures never wanna stay, they just let me down every time. Even the ones that stuck around wouldn't take the time to listen. And father figures never wanna stay, they just hide behind their fucking lies. As long as they were happy, I was never part of their life mission. And father figures never want to stay, they just let me down every time. Even the ones that stuck around wouldn't take the time to listen. They wouldn't take the time. They wouldn't take the time.
That's our boy CliF. Right there. My man, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Okay, so I'm back on there. There we go. Just having to unmute things. I have my friends pop up.
No,
but so I got it all handled. I see the chat loving it up. Love to see it. Thanks for the love, guys. It was just a deep track. Definitely my first closure track. It was nice to have. It was nice to, make. I don't really have much to say about it. I've heard it 1,000 times now. It pops on my playlist like at least twice a week. So I hear it all the time. And all I can think is, man, this is the reason I make music. That's the biggest reason I love that song so much.
No, absolutely. And you know what, for you is because this is a funny one for me, just as somebody who works with you and someone who's a fan of you, because I already have kind of a backdoor into what you're doing now. And I think even since you wrote that, you've already surpassed yourself to such a considerable degree.
You got to, man. You got to keep growing. I will say that.
And that's exactly it. Is not only have you managed to achieve, your mixing has gotten better tenfold.
Definitely. Looking back, that sounds so thin, and I need to go back before I drop it. As that's definitely going to get some touch ups before I drop it for profit. But
let me get in. Let me get in on that. If you want to hand with that mix, I'd love to take a
dude.
crack at it. Honestly, because I think I could. I've been playing around with some new things because I've been learning to make beats recently. I've got.
I heard you. I heard you over here making that JID type beat. Yeah. I wasn't silent to it. I told you I hyped it up.
Hell yeah. So I was moving, but CliF, you man. No. Let me get this off. I'm gonna let you go in a minute because I know you got fucking company.
I just gotta answer chat, bro. All
right. First off, I just want to say, man, because the one thing I do need to give you your flowers on here is because you're speaking to real people about real events that have a real impact. And it really adds to even in its rough state, because yes, it's not in a polished state. When it comes to mixing those sorts of things, it needs an extra layer here and there. But the underlying song, the underlying composition that you have created, it really has impact, man. It really achieved what you wanted it to achieve, and you should be proud. You should be proud, man.
Thank you,
and
man.
You're gonna make a million songs that are better than it, which is the best part.
Most definitely.
But yeah, man, you go ahead. You talk to chat.
All right. So just to finish up, there's not many questions. It's just thanks for the love, Jester, dude. Fuck, how old is this song? Father Figures. I think it's it should say it on there. I think it's 2 or 3 months old, maybe 6 months old now. It's been a while. I think that came out at the end of last year before I finally fell off the face of the earth. But I can't remember if it came off at the end of last year or if I dropped it at the very beginning of this year. So it's either been 3 to 6 months that I dropped that song. So it's been a while. Past that, AD, thank you for the love. I can definitely see the Adonis by Jay-Z being incorporated into that. Definitely. He speaks deeply on his song. All I got to say is thanks for the love, guys. Seriously. Corey Taylor vibes, man. You ain't had to hit me with that. You ain't had to hit me with that, Corey Taylor vibe. Don't feed my ego like that.
Hey, take it, man. You deserve to have your ego fed just as much as all the other talented people who get involved with this stream, man. Absolutely. And I think that's an excellent note where we can close things off. So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me and CliF. This is episode 2 of the BASSJUMP podcast. Now, to give you guys a little bit of background about that name, BASSJUMP is what me and CliF call our rapper duo. So we're working on some joints together, maybe a collection of joints in a project format that might be dropping later this year.
Maybe.
Just to let y'all know, just to keep y'all out, just to get your eyes out. So
ears perked.
Yeah. So obviously we're going to be doing our solo dig still. We do our thing. But me and CliF have a very, very fun kind of time working with each other. So we've decided
most definitely. It's been a blast. You know, I know Americans and Canadians usually don't get along, man. It's been a blast getting to know you.
Hey man, we're the corny ones who make half of our identity not being you. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay. It's okay. But with that, guys, see, yeah, BASSJUMP, that's me, that's CliF. Together we are BASSJUMP, ZakTove, bass jumping off a cliff. Let's fucking get it.
That's fucking dope.
But
yeah, that's
absolutely,
dope.
I fucking love that, dude. I'm gonna drop that in so many songs. Just you fucking wait.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. I might steal it from you a couple of times. We'll do the same line.
Do it, bro. Do it. All right. But on that note, guys, make sure y'all stay hydrated. Do all the YouTube digs. Like, subscribe, share the video. Get your friends to hop in for these streams. CliF is really good at responding to chat, so you know that he's going to have a great conversation with you. It's going to be an amazing time, guys. And with that, we are off. I already said it, but I'm saying it again. Stay hydrated. Go get your water. We will see you guys on Saturday at 10 a.m. for the live feedback show.